So there, it is Friday, 31st of Jan, and since it's been, like 30 days since I started my little doing the mundane consistently challenge, I thought this would be as good a time as any to have a check-in. So I thought I'd go through which habits I've kept, what's going well, what's not going well, what I'm going to shift moving forward, and all that good stuff. So one of the things that actually did work really nicely, wait, just first off, I did not have like all my habits tracked and keep track of all of them consistently, which in one way one could say is a failure, but in another sense it's like, well, how do we, it's not a failure because I tracked whether or not I did it, and the history shows I did not. There are more yellows than greens for most of them, but the things where there aren't, where like there are more greens, I'm going to start off with those and look at, I don't know, just kind of celebrate that. And look at how I will adjust things or maintain momentum moving forward. And then I'll come to the yellow things where I clearly need to change stuff. So the first really big one was just like tracking food. I didn't necessarily use an app to track, but I just kind of mentally was aware of what I was eating, the meals I was preparing, things like that. And that worked really well. I lost like 5 kgs, which was exceeded my goal for Jan, which is good. And yeah, what did I even do there? I went on like a, how would you say this? A common sense keto plan, where like, I say common sense because, well, I kind of didn't keep bread or like pasta or things like that in the house. I had like apples, which are still carbs, and like wheat bix or oats, which are also like carbs, but those would be like better carbs as opposed to like, you know, having wheat bix for breakfast instead of like French toast or grilled cheese. Like those are generally better options. So that's what I mean by like common sense keto. And I think just meal prepping in general, using recipes from this the keto book that I use, the keto recipe book, Keto Lifestyle Simplified, I think that's what it's called. But using recipes from that book, I kind of meal prepped some stuff so that I cooked less. And because there wasn't any like bread in the house, if it was like lunchtime or something like that, or dinner time or whatever, I'd kind of be forced to either warm up what I meal prepped, my meal prep, or to make something from one of the recipes in the cookbook, instead of what I would normally do, which is like toast up a couple of slices of bread and put stuff on it. Usually like whatever was like easy, like cheese or just butter or just like whatever. So just having better options that are way more filling, that was good. I don't know, just like the hunger, and there was like a lot of hunger, not just at first but like throughout, and because I was obviously like consuming way less than I had before, and also I was consuming way less carbs, so like just those cravings, I'd say cravings more than just hunger, like the cravings were really bad and they didn't really get better. They didn't really go away at all. Maybe going forward they might go away, who knows, or they might just stay there because, you know, like my favorite foods are pastas and pizzas and you know, things with cheese and carbs. Cheese and like warmed up bread, basically, or warmed up starch is like those are my favorite foods. Those are like my go-tos. And yeah, like just eating grilled chicken or eating, like, they're not horrible meals, they're tasty meals that I was making, and actually like looking forward to dinner because it was going to taste nice was also kind of a part of it. It also took a lot of thinking out of it because I didn't have to think about what I was gonna have the next day because everything was meal prepped. So I would just go in the fridge, get whatever I meal prepped and have that. Or if there was nothing there, then have like egg, like a little omelet thing, and yeah, just like go with that. So all in all, that was cool. I also felt like a lot more, I suppose it was easier because I didn't have to think about what I'm gonna make and then make bad choices because the choices were already pre-made. And just, I think moving forward, I'll keep doing that and see how it goes. I wasn't tired after meals. I wasn't tired after meals. I wasn't like hating what I ate. It was just a part of the day. It was like brushing your teeth, the thing that I did. And I enjoyed it, you know? I got to enjoy my meal sitting at the dining table and just enjoying whatever it was that I'd prepared. So that's cool. Speaking about not having to think about things, something else you might have noticed is that I kind of wear the same tops all the time. And that's by design because I don't like thinking about what to wear. So I just got like a couple of t-shirts that look the same. And that makes getting dressed in the morning pretty easy because it's the same t-shirt. And then I can either wear leggings with it, or I can wear sweatpants with it, or jeans with it. And if I had to go somewhere, it still looks cool. I can put like a scarf over it, or, you know, can dress it up with a scarf or a layer, like layer it up. And I feel nice. I feel comfy. I feel good, you know, like I feel at home in my clothes, which is a weird thing to say, but if you are someone who, I don't know, you know, like there are people who just like know how to put an outfit together and they know how to go into a shop and get the thing that they want and the thing that's just gonna work for them. There are those people. And then there are other people who are like, this looks nice, it might be good, and then you come home and it's like, I hate everything about this. Or you have just like this one thing in your wardrobe that you just wear all the time, even though you have like all these other outfits that you can have on. But there's just this one thing that you wear all the time because you feel at home in it. It feels good. It sparks joy. So I have that with my wardrobe now, and I'm kind of happy about it. Yeah, I'm happy about it. I'm happy about, like, I've looked at some of my videos, and I think like one of the first ones I did with like these earrings and this necklace and like my hair thingies, I don't know, it just like, I liked the way it looked. So I think just moving forward in terms of just like the personal branding of it all, I might explore some more like dangly, colorful earrings. Because I am like an artistic person. If I look at some of my, I might add some here. If I look at some of my photos from like high school, I was always wearing like these black bracelets, like these black silicone bracelets on one side and like colorful ones on the other side. I always had bangles. Like I was the lady who made music wherever she went because my bangles were always like jingling. And that something that I haven't kept up with in my adult life. And I think it might be time to bring that expression of creativity that I use in my work, that I use in my just downtime, where I'm just imagining things, thinking about things, like that internal creative world and the digital creative world, like bringing it into my personal brand and expressing my creativity a bit more. Not necessarily in the clothes that I wear, because I like keeping it simple. You know, Christo is someone who's kind of inspired me to think about my, like, the clothing aspect, the dress aspect of like building a personal brand, because it's one of the things that he does. And in this one LinkedIn post, he posted something and it gave me an idea to, you know, go and look, and like the next time I went to go shopping, to actually try something different. And I realized that I like clothing that's kind of understated. It's almost like, it's not loud, it doesn't scream, like more muted colors that are simple, like muted colors and neutral colors, like black, maybe like a beige or browns, those earth tones, and then like either like a muted green, a muted pink, even like muted blues or whatever, or like really deep, not burnt orange, but like almost like a mustardy yellow, but like a more deep rustic yellow vibes, or deeper blues. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's kind of what I go for. And it's typically a solid color with something interesting. Like, so from afar it just looks like one color, but when you come up close, it's got some detail to it, it's got something interesting to it. And I can see the interesting, I can like feel the textures, because textures, I think I mentioned that in a previous video as well, that like textures are very soothing to me when I get stressed out or when I get super anxious, especially in like, if I'm in a crowded place or if I'm in a new environment, then just holding on to like the texture of what I'm wearing is soothing, it's comforting. So having clothes with like different textures, like even this t-shirt, it has like a bit of mesh, it has like whatever fabric this is, with like some see-through meshy stuff, and the juxtaposition of those two textures, you know, it's stimulating and it's comforting. It's comforting, and I can use it to ground myself. So those are all like, they're intentional. And with some of my other tops as well, and some of the other like just pieces of clothing that I've bought recently are all, they're all categorized. They're all like in that category where they have they're nice to touch, and there's something interesting about them. When you come up close, it's like there's more than what you expected, which I like to think, in just in terms of my personal brand, if you look at my content as well, it's kind of very simple looking, it's not super complicated. And when you click on one of my articles, you click on one of my posts or whatever, there's more there than you expected. And some of my clients have said the same thing, that, you know, they've come to me for a specific thing, and once they start working with me, they're like, oh, this is so much more than I thought. Like, you actually care about my business doing well, you're actually kind, and like this process has helped me do blah 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 blah. And you know, it's like from a distance, it looks like you know exactly what it is. That's a green t-shirt, and when you come up close, it's like, oh, it's not just the green t-shirt, you know, there's a lot more going on here. But I'm not the person who's going to be shouting, hey, there's a lot more going on here. I'm not that person. And my clients don't like that kind of marketing. So most of them don't like that kind of marketing. So it's a lot more subtle than all the other jazz. So those are kind of things that I've been learning in tracking stuff. And accessories are spaces where I can add interest, because I can take this thing off if it's annoying, or I can change it up and make things different. And like I said, I can express my creativity. I can express the different sides of me through it. Then what else was there? I read books. Goodness, I didn't read 4 books, but I did read 3. One being We Solve Murders by Richard Osman. It was fun. It's like book 1 in a brand new murder mystery series following a group of people hobnobbing with the glitterati, jet-setting around the world trying to solve high-profile cases. And yeah, it was fun. The other one I read was The First Lie Wins, which was more of like a spy. It was actually in a very similar, not necessarily a similar vibe to this, but it also tracks spies, because there's a spy in this one, a bodyguard spy kind of person in this one, an investigator. And in The First Lie Wins, one of the main characters is also a spy. So it's got like this espionage, solving crime, solving mysteries kind of thing. And there are relationships in both of those stories. I liked both of them. And the last one I listened to was Beautiful Ugly by Alice Feeney. I've been waiting for this book to come out since last year. Alice Feeney is one of my favorite authors, and I don't know if I loved it, but I didn't hate it. I suppose I liked it. I liked it. I don't know how I feel about it. I think I have to read it again to be like, to get where it sits for me. As far as Alice Feeney is concerned, what does this have to do with writing? Absolutely nothing. But it has to do with my goals. So the other book that I started was Death at the Sign of the Rook. There's a theme here. I like murder mysteries. It's by Kate Atkinson, and this is about an ex-detective, Jackson Brody, staving off a bad case of midlife malaise when he's called to a sleepy Yorkshire town and the seemingly tedious matter of stolen painting. So he needs to there's like this murder mystery weekend that's taking place, and obviously if there's a murder mystery book or a murder mystery TV show, someone usually dies, and then the detectives on the scene have to solve the case. So yeah, that's kind of what happened. If you're a fan of Knives Out, you might enjoy this. However, it's a lot slower than other books. This one, it feels a lot more, like reading it feels a lot more like those classic novels where the chapters are really long. There's a lot of detail in the chapters. It's not super fast paced. It's a slow setup, and I'm pretty sure that when you get to the moving parts, that they're gonna move quickly, and so it's like a slow start for a more fast-paced ending. If it does get turned into it, like if it does get adapted, I think it would do well as a mini-series. I think more like those British mini-series. They're slower. They're like super slow paced, and there is like, I don't know, some of the characters are kind of quirky and whatever. So they're setting up the characters, they're setting up the dynamics and the stakes for all the kind of the main POVs involved, including Jackson Brody, and then there's this other rich lady. I think she owns an estate somewhere, so she has a title. I just can't remember what it is. I'm 17 pages into this one. And then, yeah, the year kind of the month kind of ended, so it would have been 4 books. I still, in terms of fiction, I still need to finish Blink and what's the other one? Scratch. I still need to finish those. But at the moment, I'm interested in fiction more than I am in non-fiction. I'm a mood reader, so I'm going with my mood. I'm going to where it just takes me, and I'm okay with that. I think also for my reading goal, like just tracking my reading, initially I was trying to track it with like reading 1 hour a day. And I think instead of that, I'm going to lean more towards focusing on how many books I read a month. And they don't necessarily have to be 1 a week, but as long as I hit 4, I can do 4 over the same weekend. I can do 4 books, like 1 each weekend, something like that. But I think just changing it from being like, you have to read every single day, to being just, you know what? I'm just not gonna read every single day unless I'm doing it in the morning. And if I'm reading in the morning, then it's probably gonna be like a devotional or something, or it's gonna be like one of the nonfiction, like a chapter of one of the nonfiction books. But I'm not gonna read before bed at night, because the last thing I want to do when I'm done working is read something. I just, because that's what I do all day. I write stuff and I read stuff. So reading after bed is not good unless it's it's like a no. I think that's about it. Other goals. Morning pages, that was another really, really good thing. I was able to, morning pages, it's like a form of just spilling whatever you want onto the page. And I just write 1 page. You're supposed to write 3, but I just write 1. So I do my morning page. It's like a journaling exercise or stream of consciousness writing. I turn it into a journaling exercise unless I have no idea what to write. Then I just fill a page with, I have no idea what to write. So there's that. But I have more greens on there than yellows. So I'm glad that I've at least been consistent with that, because I can get my thoughts onto the page. Like I can, like if I'm feeling horrible, I can write that onto the page. And I think just having that wake up in the morning and being like, ugh, like just getting the ugh out of your system, or getting the, oh, I'm actually pretty peppy today. Let's get all focused and look at whatever. All of that, just like getting that out of my system in the morning is helpful. It's been very helpful. And it also, like, just the process of writing helps me. Yeah, I've noticed that it's really helped me go from the ugh, do I have to wake up, to actually being like, okay, by the time I'm done with that page, it's like, okay, I'm awake now. What's next? So that's obviously, like, that's something that I've kept up. So the, like, just mentally being aware of, like, what I eat and what I consume, then morning pages and reading. Those are kind of the 3. And also, like, I suppose my like with God time. That's been like 4 things that have been kind of successful, where I've actually made a difference and built like a consistency with those things. And they're all like part of my morning, except for the reading, like my, like, just quiet time, morning pages, and Okay, the reading and food thing, they just happen whenever. But the other two, they're like a key part of my morning, where it's like I can still be in bed, but they're functions that help me bridge the gap from waking to sleeping and into like, okay, we're doing things. Yeah, what I haven't been that good at is keeping up with vlogging. It kind of has it's dwindled, I must say. It's dwindled a lot. I haven't been vlogging daily the way I promised I would, but I have been vlogging at least once a day each of the last 2 weeks. It started off really, really consistently, and then I think there was just 1 or 2 weeks where it kind of dwindled. And I really need to keep this up again, because it was so helpful in just making sure that I stay accountable to myself. And it's not necessarily, like, it legit is not necessarily about how many people see it or comments I get about it or whatever. It really is, like, this entire project is about staying accountable to myself, keeping myself accountable. And the only reason I know that I'm going to do that is if I actually edit these videos and put them out on the internet. Because otherwise, it's like if I just film all the stuff, but no one ever sees it, then it's like, well, I know myself. I'm not gonna, like, that's not enough for me. I need to actually put it out there and have that sense of either public awesomeness or public whatever. But yeah, it's not, like, in essence, it's not about the views, it's not about the comments, it's not about any of that. It's just about keeping myself accountable and knowing how accountability structures work for me. And one of the reasons that I kind of stopped vlogging was because I stopped some of my habits, like taking my dog for a walk. That started off really well. Not gonna lie. It started off so well. He was so happy. And then that's one of the things that in Feb I need to really, really stick to and be more intentional with. Just like, we've been playing and stuff. We play like tug or fetch or whatever, but it's not enough for him. He really is like super energetic and needs that walking time. Like, even his leash thing is, there's like a space where I put all his things, his toys and things, and so his leash is there, and every time he walks past it, he sniffs it. Like he goes towards it, he kind of sniffs it, wanting to, like, cause that's what he wants. But he's like, this is not gonna happen anymore. And so, like, now when I say goodbye, I'm gonna go take him for a short walk before I dive into work stuff, which for today is, what is work for today? It's editing stuff. It's a content day, but it's a me content day. So I'm catching up on case studies, putting case studies on my website. I need to write 3 case studies, put them on my website, put them in my capabilities deck, and then send those to, well, I'm not going to send them today, but schedule them for kind of my people that I want to send it to, basically. And that is my focus for the day, because it's the end of January. So it's on my calendar at the end of each month to update my case studies, put those on my website and get that SEO traffic, which is good stuff. My podcast, since starting with this, I haven't uploaded any podcast episodes. So I have 2 in the bank. Those need to get out I can't not, like, this podcast break is gone on too long. It's too much procrastination. So in addition to this, I really seriously need to focus on my podcast. So today I'm gonna put one up, and I'm just gonna, whenever you've been consistent with something and then that consistency drops, like you change something, you add something, and then that consistency drops, then take away the thing that you added and go back to the previous thing. And the thing that I added with my podcast was there's this one episode that I really want to edit. Like I want to add some stuff. I have some ideas that I want to pursue. But the thing is, I am procrastinating it because I'm probably thinking about how am I going to edit it? So much work. I have to get the footage and like all that stuff. So all of like the list of going from recording episode to getting it out is way longer and a bit more complicated for that specific video. And so there's resistance in my body. There is a resistance in my body, in my mind, in my heart. So it's better to just get it out there. I can always go back, take that specific segment that I want to edit. I can always go back, edit that segment separately and upload it separately as like, I don't know, bank it for a day when I don't have podcast episode. And then I can add that, or for like a bit of extra content, like a week when I don't have the vlog or whatever, then I can work on that. But yeah, it's time to return to basics, return to what worked. And my system worked for 14 episodes. Yes, I need to keep that momentum going. Yeah. So there should be a podcast episode up. I will link it in the description. You'll see. Yeah, that's about it. Work. In terms of my work goals, those were really, really good. My work productivity was on point. I got all of my projects done 2 weeks into, like in my second week, I had all of my projects done. Something I learned about that though is I need to not celebrate my wins so much, because why not? Why must I not celebrate my wins? Oh, because mentally it shifts my mindset from you have 1,001 things to do to you have nothing to do. Like, I need to find a better way of having an in-between there where I can celebrate my wins and be like, oh my goodness, I finished all my projects. And there's still like so many weeks left in the month, so I can actually just work on my own content and work on like behind the scenes stuff, like case studies. And yeah, and be able to do that without losing momentum, without my brain going like, oh, we have no agenda time, when my entire calendar is full of time and tasks. Well, not time, but it's full of like scheduled things. Yeah, and I need to do that because next month I start studying. Final thing that I tracked was workouts. Lots of yellow there. So I need to decide whether, because clearly my tracker is showing me that the spaces where there's a lot of yellow, my tracker is showing me that those things are not that important to me. Clearly. So I need to decide, do I prioritize this? Do I discipline myself to make working out and taking my dog for a walk, to make those essentials? Or do I just cut my losses and be like, that's not essential? Any of you watching this who are dog owners are going to be like, oh, come on, just take the dog for a walk. How difficult can it be? So that one's kind of I have to do that. And working out does it like the serotonin, the just, all the happy hormones that it releases is good for me. It's good for me just in general. So I think looking at either stretching before bedtime, or you know, like just stretching before bedtime, or doing like my weight training workouts at some point, maybe 3 times a week. Yeah, like push day, leg day, pull day. Might be a good start. I think that might work. And doing that after, like as a transition between my work hours and my non-work hours, that could be good. And then I would have to include that in the vlog. So see, push, pull, legs. Yeah, that's about it. Thanks for checking in with me. It was fun. It's been a fun ride, and just like hearing some of the things that y'all have said. I've had some feedback about people saying that like this is exactly what they're going through. They're like so they have like the same struggles, and just hearing someone else go through it, like just mention that, oh my goodness, it's not just them, they're not alone in this. That's been so just like touching. So if you do have anything that you'd like to say or see, let me know in the comment section. And cooking, I might get some cookbooks. So not cookbooks, but I might show you some cooking and stuff like that in the comments. Not in the comments, but in the coming vlog thingies, because I kind of want to make it a bit more interesting other than just me sitting here talking. Another benefit of vlogging is that I spend, because I vlog with my phone, I spend a lot less time just looking at YouTube videos, which is helpful. Now that's it from me to you. I'll see you in the next video. Yeah, we'll see you in the next video. Bye.